Hi, my name is Hebah from Hebah Beauty and I am a bridal makeup artist.
Good morning, feature family. Today we have a very special guest. Hebah Beauty is in the feature studio. How does it feel?
Feels good.
Yeah.
Feels good. I'm excited. I'm excited to be doing this. Let's go.
Cool. You excited to just have a chat and tell us about how everything began and everything?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm excited to share my story.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about just your background, your upbringing, and where you're from?
Yeah, of course. So I am born in New Zealand, born and bred here in Auckland.
Yes.
But my background is I'm Fijian Indian.
Yes.
So my parents are from Fiji. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I
cool.
go back and I visit home often.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And do you feel like because of your Fijian Indian culture, that's what's kind of drawn you into this wedding industry and to do makeup and stuff?
Definitely. I think weddings are such a big part of my culture. You know, Indian weddings, Fijian Indian weddings, Muslim weddings. They're so big and so loud and so beautiful.
Yes.
And I think growing up, I think it's every girl's dream to become a bride. I think when I started doing makeup, I knew weddings is what I'd want to end up doing.
Yes.
So I started off when I was 17. I started off as just doing makeup on my friends. That's how it began.
Yeah.
I would make little videos and things like that, and it sort of started from there. I went to makeup school.
Yes. Nice.
And I did that part-time, and my Instagram started growing, and from there I started getting more bookings. And to start off with, I was doing more sort of event makeup. So I'd do girls for balls and prom and things like that.
Yeah.
And then I slowly started getting bridal inquiries, and that's when I was like, oh my God,
Cool.
like I'm getting into the wedding industry slowly.
Yes.
So I started working on brides, and more specifically, I then started getting into that Indian bridal area, which is amazing. You know, we have so many different functions, so it's like a week-long affair. So yeah, it was really great to kind of enter into that space.
And so, like, what point in your life did you feel like that, you have the right stuff to do, like makeup for bridal? Because, like, you mentioned that it's part of our culture and everything.
Definitely.
But obviously, your first client, like even at Feature, we're doing our first clients, But like, at what point were you like, okay, let's give this a go and head into that industry?
I think it was pretty early on. I think I must have still been 19, so I was in my first year of uni.
Yes.
And I had started getting inquiries through my Instagram, people asking, oh, do you do bridal? And, like anything, it's definitely really scary, stepping into that, wedding space.
Yeah.
But I remember just getting into it, and I got my first, bridal booking, and I went and did it, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
She loved her makeup. And then we kind of went from there.
Cool.
Yeah. It was such a stunning wedding as well. So it was really great to be a part of that.
That's awesome.
And I think once you kind of do that first, the icebreaker, you have that, courage to kind of keep going from there.
Yes.
I think what really helped was also practicing on myself. I think I did a lot of practice runs on myself, because Indian bridal, Asian bridal is quite glam. It's quite a it is a little bit more different than your, normal makeup.
Yes.
Normal makeup.
Yeah.
So, you have to kind of practice and get into that space.
Cool. Can you just tell us a little bit about, like, how is it different? Like, from normal makeup, like just so like our audience and stuff,
of course.
Yeah.
So I don't just do Indian glam. I sort of do a bit of everything.
Yes.
But I think I definitely specialize in that Asian bridal glam.
Right.
I think it's definitely more glam.
Yes.
Because you have usually, Asian weddings, Indian weddings, they last longer. It is like a week long. You have so many different days. So you can really play with the different types of looks you create. You know, you see you've got the haldi, the mehndi, the sangeets, you know, all of those events.
Yeah.
It's really nice to be able to work with the bride and create so many different looks. You know, the outfits are beautiful. You know, we've got so many colors. You know, people go, you know, you've got your traditional reds and maroons, you know, you've got the classic sort of looks.
Yes.
But then for your mehndi, it's more colorful. So I think it's really, really nice getting to play with that color.
Yeah.
And really, you know, make it a whole thing with the jewelry and the hair and everything.
I guess it's kind of like, because everything's loud and glamorous, you're trying to make the makeup match
you have to reflect that.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I think it is a little bit more different to, I guess normal
being
Western
subtle.
makeup,
Yeah.
You know, that soft glam.
Cool.
So I definitely do work in that space too, where I create more softer looks.
Yeah.
But I think getting into these like cultural weddings, that's something I really enjoy, is getting to, you know, like really experiment. You know, each outfit is different.
Yeah.
So really getting to, you know, work with the bride to see what she wants.
Yeah.
And kind of go from there.
Yeah.
It's really special.
I think even for us when we're doing video, it's never the same, right?
Yeah.
It's always a different experience, and you know, you're always trying different angles and different lighting, and so I totally get what you mean. Yeah. And so, obviously, you know, with the Auckland wedding industry, there's so many suppliers out there, and so many makeup artists, videographers, and stuff. You know, it's an amazing industry.
Definitely.
How do you feel like your makeup stands out from everybody else?
Yeah. Definitely. This is quite a
we're getting to the nitty gritty now.
I would say, look, I think as a makeup is such an important part of your day. You know, when you look back at photos, that's what you see, you know, how, and getting to make a bride, you know, feel the most beautiful that she's probably going to feel, you know. Brides want to feel the most beautiful on their wedding day.
Yeah, it's their day, right? Yeah.
And there's so many wedding makeup artists out there. I think it's a lot to do with finding the makeup artist that fits you. So looking through a portfolio to kind of understand, okay, this is sort of the work they've done. Is this reflective of what I want, you know? So I think when I ask brides or clients, you know, what made you kind of gravitate towards me? A lot of the time it's your work, it's your portfolio, or you know, it's word of mouth. But I think something that maybe sets me apart from potentially other makeup artists is their diversity. So I work with a range of different types of clients in terms of ethnic groups, skin tones. I think that's probably what I'm really strong at, is like working on different complexions and things like that. You know, it's not just color. There's a lot that goes into it. You know, foundation, concealer, like all these different steps, and it's different for different, you know, ethnicities. You know, you're working with different products, you know, colors, and so I think that would be my strength. It would be working on different, you know, different types of people, different skin tones and all of that.
And do you feel like, you know, just working with different types of people is what's kind of helped you to, because it must be difficult, right? Like doing makeup from so many different types of skin tones and stuff. So how did you develop that skill?
I was actually a makeup artist for Sephora for 3 years. So while I was at uni studying, I worked as a makeup artist for Sephora. So that actually helped a lot, because you have so many people coming into the store. And so I had to do services in store, and I think because you're working with so many products, you know, with products coming in, you need to have that product knowledge. So you gain that really quickly working in a fast-paced environment like that. But you're also exposed to so many different types of people. You're not just working on one customer. It's so many different, you know, people. And I think that actually helped a lot, because coming out of that and working, you know, on my personal freelance business across that, it really transferred through. And I was able to, you know, like I'm like so quick with the color matching and all of that. And, you know, all the product knowledge that I had learnt from in store was being able to be transferred onto my personal business too.
Now, while we're on that topic of like diversity and multicultural, what do you love the most about multicultural weddings?
Oh my goodness, there's so many things, but I think it will probably be, apart from food. Food is a good one, right? It would be the clothes.
The clothes,
I love all the outfits, and it's a little bit different for each. You know, it's not just you've got Indian weddings. There's so many different types of
Indians,
right?
exactly.
Or cultural
We're
weddings.
not the same, guys. We're not all the same. Yeah,
But then
yeah,
you've
yeah.
also got the different elements of like different religions within the community.
Yeah.
So that brings variances within outfits too. You know,
Yeah.
like I've worked with a lot of Muslim brides where I've had to do hijab setting and like considering all of that as well.
Yes.
But yeah, I think outfits is definitely my favorite part. Like seeing all
Right.
the different colors, and like some people go a little bit more traditional.
Yes.
Some people like to incorporate sort of the Western and pay homage to like the Kiwi culture by doing like a white colored dress but in a lehenga. Like I think that's always really fun. Like doing a white dress but like in a lehenga or like a sari, you're getting a little bit of that fusion.
Yeah, and you're getting ideas for your own wedding as well. Like.
I am indeed. Yes, I am.
yeah.
So yeah, no, that's definitely my favorite part.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
And like, I think also the amazing thing with multicultural weddings is like, it's such a family affair. You know, like there's a ritual with the brother. And then the dad, and then the uncle. So you know, it's always so colourful and big. Yeah,
definitely. I think one of my other favourite things is like the little traditions that each culture has within that. One of my favourite ones is like the shoe stealing. The little shoe stealing
100%.
ceremony that you see. So it's like there's little moments in a wedding.
And I noticed that one's actually across so many weddings.
It is.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've been to a lot of weddings.
Yeah.
And so it's really fun to see.
Yes. Okay. Cool. How do you work with couples to ensure that like their personal story is reflected in a wedding? Like.
Oh, this is quite an interesting one.
Yeah.
I, for the most part, only really deal with the brides.
Yes.
I don't really see much of the groom, other than maybe sometimes the first look.
Yes.
You know, if I'm still there.
Have you ever done makeup on a groom?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe that's an untapped market.
Could be, some concealer, a little bit of, blaring out. No, so I only basically work on the bridal side.
Yes.
So, can you just read the question again?
How do you work with the couple to ensure their personal story is reflected in the wedding? Yeah.
I think because I work solely with the bride, it's about the communication. You know, so when I'm initially talking to them, really understanding what they're wanting, what their style is. Obviously, you know, makeup is such an important part. Like I said, you look at the photos and, you know, when you're reflecting, you're going to have that forever. So it's really understanding, you know, what they want and how we can achieve that through, you know, what we create together.
Cool.
You know, what sort of color story they want to use, you know, how glam do they want to be. It's all about that to see, you know, what they want to look like on their wedding day.
And I think also, like with our line of work, it's also, you know, it comes down to the service and the product, but most of the time it is the interaction with them, getting to know them, the whole communication part of it. So I guess even that in that area, you're going to be having a chat with them, what they want, and all those interpersonal skills, right?
I think you're such a big part of someone's day.
Yes.
You know, you need to have that rapport with them. You need to have, you know, you want to be comfortable with them. You want to have that banter. You're spending, you know, quite a few hours with them.
Yes.
So it's really nice to be able to connect and you know, it's such an honour, I think, being part of someone's special day.
For sure.
So
Yeah. This is my favourite question. What's your favourite memory with when you're doing makeup on like a bride? Like what's been one of your best experiences?
What's been a highlight?
Highlight. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay guys, you guys have to give me a few minutes to think.
No, take your time. Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
We can cut it.
I'm trying to think. One of my best friends got married, you know, at the beginning of this year, and that was probably such a cool moment for me because I was obviously part of the wedding, but I was also, you know, part of getting her ready, and it was so special because, you know, I've been friends with her for so long, and there was finally this moment that she was getting married, and just being part of her day and getting her ready was such a special special thing that we shared together.
Yeah,
you know, and I think that was just really, really nice, you know, getting to glam her up. We had done a few bridal trials, you know, leading up to the wedding. So we knew exactly what she wanted, you know, I had seen her clothes, etc. So I think being able to, you know, as a makeup artist, it was really nice because I was working in my space, but because she's such a good friend, being able to kind of spend that morning with her and like make her feel so beautiful was incredibly special.
Yeah.
And, you know, like me like crying as I'm doing her makeup. You know.
Hopefully the tears didn't go on her.
No. She wasn't crying, so this was good. I was like, you can't cry. I'm gonna, you know, so she's
I'm
like
gonna cry.
Holding back those like, oh, I'm gonna cry, you know, like, and seeing her transform into a bride. And I was doing the work, but it was really, really special and something that really stands out to me when, you know, when I think about it. You know, because I do weddings where I know the people, you know, or a family friend or something. So I think it was always really special.
Yes.
Getting to be, it's like part of the day.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome. And do you feel like word of mouth has been a big play in what you do?
I think word of mouth is very powerful because, you know, you work with someone, they're not like only like your work, but they like your personality and like the way everything flows, and then they recommend, you know, if someone you know recommends someone, it holds a lot of weight. Yeah. So I think it's really nice getting to, it's a little bit of a, like, oh, you know, they picked me because someone else recommended me. It was definitely a special thing.
That's cool. And so why did you choose to be a feature partner?
I think something that really attracted me was the team. Yeah. The team was just so fun. I met feature partner, like the team, through doing weddings and like being in the wedding industry. But it was definitely like just like the team itself, people. Just so fun. And then I remember reaching out and, you know, doing a little email and then like, you know, waiting eagerly, and then I got the email back, and so it was really exciting. It was really exciting, and I'm so glad to be part of it.
No, we're glad to have you on board.
Amazing.
And what 3 words come to mind when you think of feature weddings?
Ooh, okay. I would say fun. Yeah. Unique. Yes. And diverse. Cool. I think those are the 3 sort of words that jump at me when I think feature weddings.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. And last question, what's your like 3 tips for any makeup artist that's trying to break into the industry?
Ooh, okay. I think number 1 would be have fun. Figure out what you like and what are your strengths. I think is quite important. You know, you need to find your strengths and work with that. Number 2 would be practice. You know, bring in models, people you know, or, you know, you can post on Instagram and get people to come and model for you. I think it's a really, really great way to meet people, but also learn new skills. And my 3rd tip would be reach out to different people in the wedding space, and whether that be photographers or, you know, florists or anything, and seek advice, or, you know, reach out and see if you can work with them. I think it's a really, really great way to break into that space. Yeah. I think sometimes it is a little bit about networking. Yeah. So building those connections is really important. So yeah, get out there and do your thing. So
how do we book Hebah Beauty?
Yeah, well, if you want to book with me, go ahead and a lot of people either go on my Instagram. I think that is quite an easy way. You can look through, you know, my posts, see through what you like. My Instagram is at Hebah Beauty, or you can go on to my website and send me an email, which is www.hebahbeauty.com, and then we'll create some magic.